Hi, welcome back. Let's get to work. Okay, so today the song, I'm looking at my computer, I'm looking at it pulled up on my computer. The song that we're doing today is Soon I'll Be Loving You Again from 1976, I Want You. And yeah, there's an episode in the podcast dedicated to this song, indicating, giving you the knowledge that this is the ultimate in Marvin Gaye curriculum. And I don't do a very good job of explaining it in that episode. My mind was just, it's hard for me to stay in one spot of thought process when discussing this song because of how too much is going on in this song. That's the reason why it is the ultimate. If there's one song of getting the Marvin Gaye curriculum, though, right? Like, if you need to understand what's the deal with Marvin Gaye and why he is the baddest motherfucker that there ever is, and why I will never be able to give a fuck who your favorite is, okay, I cannot hold it back today. That's why we're getting to work. That is what Soon I'll Be Loving You Again is, okay? That's what this song is about. And, okay, what you have to have done to fully absorb and understand the messaging that you're hearing in this song is have pressed play on I Want You from second 0 of song 1, I Want You. And you need to listen to that project, song 1, until we are getting to song 9. Because definitely what just happened in song 8 is the precursor of what he is waking up singing about, okay? But what happened in song 8 is the progression of what has been going on from song 1 up to that point. This album, if we're going to get into using the term concept album, is a concept album because it is a story of two people from start of I Want You to end of After the Dance, where I'm walking out of here with you. You know what I mean? By the time that he's telling that girl that, he's been talking to her since the start of I Want You, though. And so definitely to you, in order to the most fully absorb this storyline and the story of this song, you have to have absorbed the 8 songs prior in sequence to understand what he is signifying when he starts it out by saying, I dreamed of you this morning, and then came the dawn, and I thought you were here with me, okay? You gotta understand the whole story that has been getting told up to this point, this song beginning. So, the first 7 seconds of this song, I have been studying this real hard the past couple of days, and I'll tell you the reason why, because sometimes I don't have time to fuck around either. You know what I mean? It has been just really busy with stuff, and I'm not doing a good enough job of listening to Marvin enough. And so the other day, it was just, I don't have time to fuck around. I need to get some Marvin in. I'm going straight to it. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you need to just get to the main line, okay? And so when I don't have any time to mess around and I just need to hear some like urgent Marvin, like I have an urgent need to hear Marvin, I don't have time to mess around. That's why I'm saying let's get to work. So Soon I'll Be Loving You is just what I've needed to be on for the past couple of days. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I have pressed record right now is because I finally heard lyrics in these. It's been about 2 days that I've been old school on it. Marvin's been on repeat. These beats have been in my ear pumping Soon I'll Be Loving You Again on repeat, okay? Like, for me, that's, yeah, I'm highly in need when I'm needing to listen to it like that. So in these past couple of days, since 1992, 93, I have told you guys, I realized that I was hearing some lyrics being sung in this song, that it was the very first time that I was ever realizing that I was hearing Marvin sing what he was singing, right? Like, that is what makes this song the ultimate curriculum. I double dog dare you. What are you paying attention to right now, Phil? Any given second in the song, what are you on? What is your sensory capability to be picking up on? And I promise you, you won't even understand things that you've never heard before, minus this. Something like this is a requirement for me to pick up the lyrics that I have never realized, that all of these years that I've heard this song and Marvin Gaye singing this song, I was like, wait, what? And he sang it over and over and over again. And so that, wow, Marvin is actually singing something that I can't tell what he is singing, okay? But he is singing it over and over again. And I will say, I'm always so sketchy and skeptical on trying to look up some Marvin Gaye lyrics anywhere, because, come on, y'all, most of the time, that is not what he is saying. I do realize there was a hilarious episode where I did actually get corrected lyrics from how I had been understanding what he was saying for all the time. But that will have been the one and only time, except for what I just got today, where looking up some lyrics actually gave me the correct lyrics that were being sung. So today, and I had to look it up twice, I realized, okay, I was like, yes, this is a thing. He is singing a thing like over and over and over again in this song. And it's noticeable because I'm just in it on the beats right now. You know, this is the first time I listened to the song on the beats, but I was just like in a different place listening to this the past couple days. So I looked up, just Googled "Soon I'll Be Loving You Again" lyrics, and I got one hit, and that does not even have, it's a background lyric. It had all this stuff in the forefront, and that corrected a couple of things that I, hadn't thought, interested in. I picked that up. I was like, oh, that's what he said. He said interested in at a point in the song that I didn't previously understood. That's what he said. But I was still missing. It was like, y'all fools didn't just give me what the hell the reason I'm looking this up for. So I Googled it again, got a different result. This one, I think it included Marvin Gaye, "Soon I'll Be Loving You" Marvin Gaye lyrics, and hit that and went through, and there it was. Giving up my life, keeping up my faith. That's what I'll do because I'm hung up on you. Giving up my life, keeping up my faith. That's what I'll do because I'm hung up on you. And then when I was realizing, oh my gosh, that is what he is saying. Okay, so this is grown folks music. Okay, and you are not going to be touched by this song unless you have been there, done that, and so if you haven't, I wouldn't be able to impress upon you, kind of the grown folks themes that are going on in this song. And I'm not just talking about the more, if you were graphic lyrics, I'm not talking about that. I am not talking about that. I am talking about, unless you have been in a love situation that is dealing with the context that this song is being delivered in and from, which again, I will say, is the arrival of the project listening experience. I want you in sequence up to the first 7 seconds of this song. Okay, like that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you have unless this sparks up some type of personal reminiscence inside of you through listening to this project, you won't get it. And that's when you will be just online. I told you guys this in an episode once before. I'm looking up stuff throughout the course of the podcast, and it was this weird little interaction between people. I've never heard sexual healing. Is it as trashy as Let's Get It On? Oh yeah, even worse. It was just like, really? Y'all can't. Don't listen to Soon I'll Be Loving You Again then. Don't listen to Feel All My Love Inside, okay? Like, you guys can't handle that, and I can't handle you, okay? Because, okay, it's grown folks' music, and you're really only gonna relate to it if you can, you know what I mean? And so there's nothing I can do if you can't. We won't be able to conversate about this song, the project, whatever, you know what I mean? It's just like, there's levels of love, there's ways of loving, and this is a clear and complete explanation of a type of a way of loving. Is it the healthiest? Not necessarily. You know what I mean? Is it the happiest ending? Not necessarily. But it's a way. And if you don't love like this, you ain't gonna get it. Okay? So there's that. But yeah, let us go. And I do wanna, okay, so yeah, okay, wait, how to go get the book, because I am very highly confused by this. So this is a triple dipple double deluxe version of I Want You. Full, I don't know when I got it, and I know there's been 3 more iterations since. But there is something in here. Okay, so it gives creditization, right? And I had to get all the way to the back of it here, which is giving me the list of musicians after it has given me just the track list from the original LP. Then it goes into the sessions and the breakdowns here. Okay, so yes, all right. Now look though. This is the information we get for the original LP. And this is the song version that I'm taking you through today from the original LP. Well, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? But when I get into what was going on in the sessions, I get more information and more intel, okay? And I get that on every single fucking song on this project, minus only one that I think that I'm seeing where this could be. Why then when we get to this overall list of musicians, this one little bit of information is needed and relevant. We get to background vocals, Marvin Gaye, Leon Ware, Gwanda Hambrick, female size, okay, and Lem Barney. And I know he's one of them football players from the Detroit Lions. Not necessarily a singer though, I would not say. But Leon Ware, that troubles me, okay? Because I don't really appreciate being told that in places on this project, you're trying to tell me that I'm hearing Leon Ware. Okay, because I don't recognize it. And the only song in this listing of the sessions where what it appeared that vocalization was being entered in here without specifying that it was Marvin Gaye happens on all the way around. And I will accept that. I will accept that possibly that's the song on this project where we hear Leon Ware in the background, okay? Because other than that, and I didn't look at this like hardcore, but in the sessions listing of the songs that are the original songs, you know, from the original LP, there's some additional ones, but those are mostly instrumentals. Here's what happens, okay? And I knew that this was the process of how this project was made. So let's discuss how this project was made. So Marvin's kind of doing like the semi-retirement thing by this point in time, by 76, because his last full LP of him solo, right, is Let's Get It On, right? Because where's the Marvin Gaye collection book? Let me make double sure I'm saying that right. We get from him Let's Get It On, August of 73, Diana and Marvin, October of 73. Okay, in 73. Then in 74, there's this anthology thing. You fool, do you have the anthology? Do you have that? Do you have the LP of it? When I was growing up in the hood, in the neighborhood, there was this old school record store still in the hood, fool. And don't you, there, it wasn't even for sale, fool. They had it in a glass display case. I love it. This is correct. But it was in this just on display and protected. The anthology, they had it opened up. It opened up like that. But I was like, I was like, how much? It was not for sale, sweetheart. Okay, so that's right. But I wanted it anyway, and I wanted to play ball. Okay, I would have worked my ass off to get that thing. I might have been like 15 when I saw that. Okay, but this comes out in April of 74. Marvin Gaye Live. Okay, because he does... All right, fair enough. I was like, he was on semi-retirement. Okay, Marvin Gaye Live comes out June of 74, but we know he was on tour, right? He was doing a tour. So, but I think it's kind of after that tour, because that tour happens in 74 and I think dips a little bit into 75, but then we've got 75 into 76. However, this project, I Want You, does begin to get worked on in 75. Let's see, when is it released? It's released in March of 76. Okay, you know what? I love that. I love that. June of 74, he goes on a tour, and in March of 76, this gets released. It obviously is getting worked on in 75, and I had the nerve to say Marvin's on a semi-retirement. They pumped him over there, okay? He needed to be turning out product back to back to back to back. Gonna do a tour, but you know what I mean? It wasn't a semi-retirement, but in their estimation and in the way that they worked him, it was starting to become a problem, and he hadn't turned in any product. And so Berry Gordy, I love the way that fool is credited as executive producer, and I can guarantee you about the extent, I don't even need to look hard. The extent of Berry Gordy being involved on this project to be listed as an executive producer on it is that he was presented with demos for this project being created by Leon Ware. Yes, this is Leon Ware's brainchild and baby. He writes these songs. The demos of them. He's working on it with Diana Ross's brother, okay? And I feel like they were probably presenting this to Motown with the hope that they would be good enough to create this project and release it as them, okay? But I feel like Gordy's involvement in that is he's presented with it. He kind of is liking what he's hearing, but this is the but. I wasn't getting any, back to back to back product from Marvin, and I believe Marvin was pretty much kind of kicked back though. Bless his heart. I will just say this again, Maxwell, you are so welcome. This takes 10 years in between his fucking projects. Must be fucking nice, fool. Marvin was not afforded, and we are just only so lucky that he was not, given his lifespan, right? That we have the material left behind. Can you imagine if Marvin would have taken 10 years between projects? So it was a problem that since 74 was the last project that we had on Marvin. But yeah, let me even just see here. It has some dates in here. Because it's telling me 75. May of 75, demos are getting recorded. October of 75, okay, so we're working on this for months in 75, right? October of 75. So yeah, it looks like the earliest I'm seeing is May of 75. It's still being worked on. I'm seeing something right here. Marvin Gaye overdubs at his studio January 30th and February 4th in 1976. So, okay, here is how Leon Ware does show up as providing vocals on these songs. It seems like every version of this album, every song on this album has a version. That was a demo, right? That, again, what did I just say? That's what Leon Ware and T-Boy Ross were working on. Definitely Diana Ross's brother had ambition to have his own record career. Leon Ware wanted to have his own thing, and they seem to have partnered up together and were presenting that. Now, I don't think that they were going to be trying to do this as a duet project. I think that mostly they were probably going to try and have Diana Ross's brother be the one that this could have gotten made for. And so Gordy, like I said, I think he was enticed enough by the material, but also concerned enough by the lack of product from Marvin that he suggested Marvin record this. And that is why in previous podcast discussions, I don't include this in that list of projects where I say, you know, Marvin wrote on every song and wrote the songs and, you know, executive produced the song, because this did have complete produced by Leon Ware. Like at the end, I feel like it just completely said it is produced by Leon Ware and executive produced by Marvin. But that's really important to clarify that distinction. I'm not even really seeing that right here right now about that. Oh yeah, no, produced. Discs 1 and 2, all songs produced by Leon Ware. Associate producer is Diana Ross's brother and Hal Davis. And then where are they showing Marvin? Recording engineers, additional recording. Then there was that it was executive produced by Marvin and Berry Gordy. But again, like I believe the extent of Berry Gordy's involvement on this project is that he is the owner of Motown Records. So he can slap his name on whatever the fuck he wants to slap his name on. And he initiated the meeting of these parties. So that's enough of looking at this. Leon Ware, T-Boy Ross concept this, sing it, record it, hand it over to Marvin. Marvin is kicked back, even yet and still, though he has agreed to work on this project. So what he does is, what does he have at this point in time? Marvin's room, the Marvin Gaye recording studio on Sunset Boulevard that to this day exists. We are lucky to be able, and you know, it's like a dream of a lifetime to be able to go and record in Marvin's room, okay? Because it's Marvin Gaye's recording studio, bitch. That by this point in his career at Motown, let's just previous song that we listened to together, he is no longer confined and restricted to the house on the block in Detroit, Studio A. That is really literally a house that, okay, is not, it wasn't built to be a recording studio. Marvin built, I don't know if he had it built from the ground up, you know what I mean? But it was his recording studio and it was meant to be a recording studio. And he had like a little apartment up in it too. You know, it was just the kick it spot, the place to be. It's where Got to Give It Up is getting recorded, because that is literally just a party that is happening in the fucking studio and they're recording it. They plop it into what's going on with Got to Give It Up. And Don Cornelius just also happens to roll in. Hey, homie. Hey, Don. Hey, man, I didn't know you were here, homie. Like, that's because in the middle of this party that's happening in Marvin's room, Marvin notices that Don Cornelius is just there. Okay? Like, that's what this place was. But, you know, so it was hectic. But he also just did his work there. And so, these young men present the songs that they have taken a stab at singing, okay, laying it out. And then they always hand those over to Marvin, and you can see this. I will explain this to him. And let's go to this song. So Soon I'll Be Loving You Again. Marvin Gaye, Leon Ware, and T-Boy Ross write it. And this is the alternate mix, but this is the only batch of information I'm getting this production detail on, and I know it applies to what's on the LP released version. So, basic track with the working title By Loving You is recorded for and with T-Boy Ross. That's what I just said. I think that this was intended to be a project released for him. In Sunset Room at Motown Recording on February 25th of 1975. Overdubs are recorded March 1st, and it says in parentheses the demo lead. On May 6th and 7th, horns and strings. May 26th and 28th, Ross vocal. And May 30th through 31st, additional overdubs, including lead and background vocals, 1975. Now right there, when I flip the page and I'm getting the musician credits and it says background vocals, Marvin Gaye, Leon Ware, and that lady doing the sighs in the song, and Lem Barney. And I promise you, Lem Barney is not extensively throughout this project. He's a football player, okay? And I think that we would be able to identify a football player singing versus Marvin on this project. So I think, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's getting credited in a spot. And I think where we're seeing Leon Ware getting credited with background vocals is what is happening in these demos. So right here, when it just said, including leads and background vocals in 1975, I believe that that's where Leon Ware is doing his thing. So then that's what happens. These songs get recorded like that. They're little demos made, right? They get handed over to Marvin. Marvin is pretty kicked back. He has decided to engage. Okay, fine. He's going to give product to Motown. But he is kind of enticed by this a little bit more hands-off. As far as all of this initial groundwork, right? All of the prep work. So all that prep work and the concepting and all of that stuff is handed to him. And he's in alliance, right? Like, he's in agreement and he likes it. It sounds good. They had already met, right? Like, before they're to these stages of the songs getting handed over, they've already met. They've vibed, you know what I mean? Like, they're working well. He's enjoying this. But when it comes time for him to touch the material and sing the material and do the material, it has been this handoff. And he's staying in his little studio, okay? He ain't gotta go nowhere. He's kicked back in his studio and he's gonna do this at his own pace. Not necessarily his own pace, because there's always a clock ticking on this shit. But I mean, he took a little bit of time, because what we saw May of 75 through, he's still doing stuff on it in February. So this was, when we think about how What's Going On had to be recorded start to finish in 30 days. Okay, that's not this process. So for Marvin Gaye's career speaking versus Maxwell's, I'm not a hater on Maxwell. I love that mother so much. I have been to so many of his concerts. He has some of my, never mind, lingerie. But I just have no patience for how long this man takes between his projects. Like, something is on its way, right? And a tour is on its way, but it's been too long. So, you know, it's like, to look at this project with Marvin and say, oh, he's kicked back, but he's taking less than a year. It's kind of ridiculous. So anyway, what's going on here? Marvin overdubs at his studio. Wow. From the last time that the original stuff was created was May 30th through 31st of 1975. Marvin Gaye overdubs at his studio September 14th through the 15th of 75. Yeah, okay. And it says he's doing lead and background vocals. Okay, don't get confused. Don't get confused. Don't let nobody confuse you with what you know you are hearing. Okay, why is Leon Ware getting credited with background vocals on this project? Except for All the Way Around. Okay, I will accept that it's possible he's doing that on the LP version of that song. But aside from that, okay, Babies, understand when you're hearing all Marvin Gaye. Just know that. Know that. You know what that sounds like. Okay. So on October 30th, he does background vocals of 1975. February 10th through the 12th, he does lead and background vocals. On February 20th, he does finger snaps. Now, really, I don't know that I've ever, it's sensory overload, but I guess we need to look for that, listen for that. And then on March 2nd of 1976, he does background vocals again. Now, damn, Marvin, hold on, isn't that when this project got released? Yeah, March of 76. Like, Marvin, he did. You know, he took things up to the wire. So, all right. But that lets you know, too, that he just was revisiting and revisiting the material here. So, okay, that's the story. That's what's going on. There's a lot that's going on in this song. And what I was studying here recently, just the past couple of days, was that why this is the ultimate in Marvin Gaye curriculum. In the first 7 seconds of the song, we're hit with everything, okay? It's not subtle. This doesn't really build slowly, right? It's a 3-minute long track, and we're hearing 3 things in the first 7 seconds: that conga, strings, and piano. And hold on, let's see who's doing piano here too, because I just really see, you know, him overdubbing is what they're saying is happening. Piano, let's see her. Piano and Fender Rhodes, Sonny Burke, okay, John Barnes, and Jerry Peters. So I'm not, that would have been what Marvin would be doing were he playing instruments on this project. Really, it's, oh, okay, the ARP synthesizer, we do have Marvin Gaye. He's doing that on the After the Dance instrumental. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Marvin Gaye is a synthesizer player. So definitely, that's all that we're getting on After the Dance instrumental is synthesizer. And that is Marvin and some other dude, but Marvin. And you know what? I think that we're getting all Marvin on the After the Dance instrumental. And I think if we hear that synthesizer other places, that's where this Gary Coleman dude comes in. Because they put in parentheses Marvin Gaye on After the Dance instrumental. So that's Marvin, okay? Playing that. Let me just see if I'm seeing him any place else called out for instruments. No, and I think like that again is what I'm talking about. That kind of did allow him to be enticed to do this project. He was kicked back. That's really what Gordy's take on how this was able to happen is it was such a kind of served on a platter to Marvin. And then that's what he was doing. They were doing all of the groundwork, right? The demos and shit. And then they were handing it over to him and he's putting the vocal on it. And so let's get into that discussion too, because this is Marvin being asked, do you feel a way that, did 3 people record? Yes, I do believe I heard it through the grapevine because Smokey Robinson said something about that. I feel like Smokey Robinson and the Miracles maybe recorded I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Gladys Knight and the Pips did, and then Marvin. And do you feel a way about that fact? And he's like, no, because I told you Marvin is humble, but he didn't need to be. He said he was head and shoulders above the rest. He don't give a fuck for. So that's fine if you want to give him little demos of how you thought that this song would be sung. But when you hand it over to him, that shit ain't gonna play a factor into what the LP is gonna be, baby. Because, you know what I mean? Like, he don't gotta do that. Marvin does not have to follow your lead. He don't have to replicate what you laid out. Hold on, I gotta plug in my charger on this thing. It's about to die. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I mean, he don't copy. He wouldn't even know how to try and sing any of these songs the way these little boys did when they were handing him those demos. Okay? Those little boys, think about that. Were living their best lives. They were living the dream of their life to turn over their demos to Marvin Gaye to then actually make it happen. Okay? Please. So there is no doubt in my mind that what we hear on the final product of every single one of these songs is Marvin Gaye's work when it got handed to him in his studio, and he was just kicked back and had the freedom of doing it at his leisure in his studio, in privacy, just in artistic mode. However, he would do that, I don't know. It seems like he wouldn't necessarily like to be in the booth, right? Like he would just be sitting more at the console with art. Okay. So, yeah, but it's a song that does progress, but it doesn't hit you with like, it's not an opera, it's not going to start out real just in the middle of nowhere and then take forever to build up. No. We get 7 seconds, okay, of just this gentle introduction. We will immediately be hearing Marvin humming in the background. And okay, here is like what it is for me about Marvin Gaye doing this song. He makes sounds. It's just sounds. And your fave doesn't do that. Your fave doesn't know how to do that. And your fave is Marvin, though, I know. But any of your, I know you know better. But you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody else's fave, he does woo. And of course, But it's just like, nobody does that. Your faves don't do that. They don't know how to do that. They don't think to do that. This song really, to me, is really the curriculum, the ultimate of Marvin Gaye curriculum of just how he doesn't use words a lot of the time in the most impactful moments of his catalog. That is why the 20 seconds from Save the Children is so significant and really just made me cry in the podcast episode where I was explaining that to you, because it was like, oh my gosh, I just for the first time tonight when I was recording that episode realized that he doesn't even use words. He doesn't even use words. And so other people, they don't know how to do that. They don't know how to sing like that minus the words. Okay, just making sounds. Something that you are caught up on, right? Like you're caught up on that because, and that is the distinction of Marvin. You know what I mean? Like I would say probably my favorite part of this song is where he does that. Woo! Because it's just like, it's extra, right? You know what I mean? Like that's the I guarantee you that is what we got on March 2nd of 1976. On March 2nd, because it's a background vocal, it says Marvin Gaye on March 2nd of 1976 recorded. Woo! And then it was ready to be priced out. Okay, he is giving you so many layers and so many details all the time, but I promise that is the distinction for me of Marvin Gaye compared to anybody, because you do not have ever heard anybody else make a sound so sexy, so important and impactful, and what you are caught up on the most in the song. All these fucking lyrics that are about to overwhelm you, I promise you that, woo, I'm good. It's the thing I will take away the most from this song. So, let's go. first 7 seconds, just pay attention to what I'm telling you that you will be hearing is those good gosh, the congas. Is this on? Yep. The congas, piano, and strings. And I do just want to talk about the strings. So yes, at a certain point, being asked about strings, he says it's something that he knows a thing or two about, and he just does. And we have examples of that. But and so here's what I do want to impress upon you guys. Yes, this was a much more hands-off project for Marvin Gaye as far as doing, like I said, it was just more getting served to him. It was like, here you go, Mr. Gaye, like here's all of it, you know, ready for you. But there will not be an element or an aspect that you and I are hearing on, you know, I want you to, after the dance, that is not completely to Marvin's approval. And so the strings, if it's something that he knows a thing or two about, curriculum of stringerization is happening in this song. And yes, it's arranged, and we had the credit. I think I read it to you, right? The credit of who did the arranging, but I promise you that it sounds exactly the way that it does because it's what Marvin signed off on it sounding like. If there was an element of this shit that he didn't like or want it to sound like, it did not. Okay. He didn't have to do it. He could say it and then it would be that way. So the strings that we're hearing, yeah, arranged by whoever, but it sounds exactly the way that it does because that person was bringing to fruition the sound that Marvin had in mind. That's what I just want to impress upon you. You don't ever need to be really getting preoccupied with like the actual implementation of things from others on his projects, because the absolute complete final product is down to details of what he wanted it to sound like. That's why I promise you, I know this, that last little detail that he recorded on that March 2nd, 1976 is the woo. Okay, so let's go. Okay, there's just before I press play, there is one thing I got from the lyrics, the correct lyrics that I found today. They also had a little write-up on the song, and they were saying, they were just giving the story of the song, you know, oh, it's Marvin, he's very nervous about the first time that he's gonna, I'm going, you know, this is on YouTube, so it's, you know, you don't sing a certain way about a thing without, okay? So it's a story that's being told. Marvin's bringing it to life. I don't think that this is much of autobiography, though. All right, so let's go. I got it perfect. Okay, do and then I mean those can you, whoo, are you already transported, right? You're already transported, and then that piano is just banging in the last, you know, couple of seconds there. But it's all, the mood is already set, right? Like that's what I'm telling you. This is the ultimate in curriculum. Who has a song starting out with the strings like that? That's what I'm telling you, that string arrangements is something that Marvin Gaye knows a thing or two about. He just does. Okay, and he's very at the top of his game on the vibe that he gives you via his strings at all times. So he's gonna say, I dreamed of you this morning, and then came the dawn. I mean, that is also just, and just the way those first 7 seconds, it is waking up, right? And then he'll say, I dreamed of you this morning, and then came the dawn, and I thought you were here with me. Are there lyrics? Let me see if there are lyrics in this little booklet. Okay, so first 7 seconds. Yes, what do we hear? We hear Marvin humming immediately, kind of I think he just says, dreamed of you this morning, then came the dawn, and I thought you were here with me. And then I think right after that, in the background, becomes his humming. He is giving us doo-wop in this. And of course, we completely get that in the session, the alternate mix version of this song. I was so surprised at how quickly that version video on the channel took off as well. It was just like, oh, damn, y'all are here for that alternate one. But it's because of the ending. Because that is heaven on earth, hearing Marvin Gaye layering himself like that. And it is from his original training in doo-wop. And that's when you have a 5-octave range. You know what? It may be in this song where we will hear Marvin hitting such bass. There are places on this project where he is giving us such low bass. Yeah, I don't know if it's this song. There's definitely a song on this project where I have been driving and I'm just like, Marvin, I know that I didn't just hear you like in the lowest keys on this part of the piano. But yes. So definitely pay attention to the way he is just grooving and bopping along in the background. But it is as if he is his own, I wouldn't even call him a quartet. I'd say it's about a 5-person group. But he'll be giving you that at certain places. Then in this ear, at certain points in time, he's saying, what did I hear him say? He says, and it ain't those lyrics that where it's giving up my life, keeping up it isn't that. He says, just like a thing, one time, in this ear only. People, this is going to be absolutely required. You're not going to be understanding what I'm talking to you about as far as the sound of this song without, I mean, you don't have to have this, but if you have pods, put your hands over it, okay? Like, you gotta really deeply hear this. So here we go.
Dreamed of you this morning, then came the dawn, and I thought you were here with me. If you could only see how much I love you, you'd want to trust me. I was really loving you, baby. I was really loving you. I was loving you. I was really loving you, baby. Every place that you wanted me to. Since I believe in dreams and fantasies, I'd like to make love to you right there, baby. Ooh, I've got this real strong need to love you everywhere.
What would you be able to do if? Yeah, I mean, probably about to be got, right? I mean, because it's right that when he just came real strong, whoo, you know, it's okay, all right.
I won't stop until I find your passion flowing like wine. Baby, baby, please let me do it to you. Oh, I never felt that before.
Ooh, that's the only spot in this song that he does that, and that did a whole loop of that. It's alright. I get it. I get the respect. I get the need. But Marvin did that. Marvin sang. Okay? That song by that. Is it Marvin? Is it Marvin singing? Because Marvin just sang that. You know. What did he just say though? Your people don't know how to do that, okay? And then Marvin just did that. What was that? What did he say? What did he just say though? Okay, he doesn't have to. He did. Ooh. And 30 years later, some gotta make a song off of and just loops that. But is it Marvin's singing of that which we just heard Marvin do? I don't think it is. He replicated it, but I am not going to listen either to confirm. But yeah, that just, I had to point that out. That happened, okay, because Marvin just, well, what did he say? He didn't. Okay, and it's too much. It's just the ultimate in Marvin Gaye curriculum because, it's enough for me to pay attention to the front, the lyrics that are getting sung, because there is like so much just like surrounding as well, the detail work. But no, this is sexy enough for me just listening to the lyrics. So okay, and he also just went whoo to. That's like, okay, all right now.
But there's always the first time, you know. So I made up my mind. Come on, baby. Soon I'll be loving you. That's all I'm interested in. I made up my mind. Soon I'll be loving you. Girl, I know where I'm going. I want to touch you, to give you that feeling. Heat you up my day so that your mood will be revealed, baby. And soon as I know I got you in me, you up my life, baby. I'm gonna knock you right up, woman. I'm gonna give you some
Okay, have you guys, it was so hard for me to catch it, you know what I mean? But he has started to sing it, and I think he's already said it maybe twice before, but it's giving up my life, keeping up my faith, that's what I'll do. I think that part you can hear him singing really clearly, but that part before, until I got these lyrics, I didn't even hear that Marvin Gaye was singing that until 2 days ago. Okay, and it's in this ear. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I looked it up, because I could tell that he was saying giving up my life, and I was just like, you don't understand this song unless you do, okay? But I mean, if you do, it was just like, damn, Marvin, you know what I mean? Is it that serious? It's that serious, okay? It didn't make sense. Like, I get it. I know that it is. Like, I have been hearing the seriousness of this song all of these years, but I just didn't know the exact words that he was singing until this morning, which is why we're getting to work right now, okay? So as they say, I'm at 213 right now. We got to back this up a little bit. I'm going to 203. Here we go.
Don't you
That's why I'm saying this is not autobiographical. He said, don't you know that I can handle it? Yeah. You know, you would, you would just be, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you would just be understanding you will be getting caught soon. And he just said soon, you know, I think he's going to determine and dictate that timeline too. So, you know, because it's just like, what are you going to do? But I think that will be happening soon. So, yeah, no, Marvin has nerve. You know what I'm saying? He's got the nerve in ultimate curriculum. Ultimate curriculum, people, because if you are able to just focus on the words that are being sung, he has the nerve in the way that he is singing the lyrics in the forefront. Okay, and I don't, you know, I couldn't do too much but just experience the song. It's hard to talk about real time and every little element. You wouldn't get more than 7 seconds a piece. Okay, but oh yeah, he has the nerve in the way that he is singing the 4 lead vocals, right? Isn't that what they're the lead vocals? We saw in this book he's doing lead vocals and he's doing background vocals, and Marvin has nerve. He is there was a man, he's a music critic. He talks on all black music, and he said there's nothing sexier than Marvin Gaye, and this song is Exhibit A. Yeah, it's just lead and background vocals. Lead and background vocals. Let me see how many times he does this. He does the lead. Did you hear the finger snaps? You get extra credit, okay? You are extra credit. You are the fan number 1 of the day. Of the day, babies. Of the day. If you heard those finger snaps, okay? Because, yes. But he recorded the lead vocal on September 14th through the 15th. And then he retouched that February 10th through the 12th. And he did the background vocals September 14th through the 15th. Then he did it on October 30th. Then he did it on February 10th through the 12th. Then he did it on March 2nd. Okay, but and so that's so much that's going on in the background. And so when I was just dancing like this, I was trying to give you, that's the little doo-wop group effect of himself singing 5 parts at the exact same time. He's being a little group, his background group. What did he say? I called it out what he said one time. I said it. It's recorded. I shouted it out. But then this morning I got those giving up my life, keeping up my faith. That's what I'll do. I'm hung up on you. That's in line with this message. He has made up his mind. Because he said that. I made up my mind, right? Soon I'll be loving you. Dreamed of you this morning, then came dawn. I thought you were here with me. If you could only see how much I love you, you'd want to trust me. In my dream, I was loving you every place you wanted me to. Since I believe in dreams and fantasies and things, I wanted to just get to the part where he says he made up my mind. So I made up my mind after, this is a grown folk song. Soon I'll be loving you. That's all. I love that. Okay, because yes, he said, okay, he let you know what he let you know what he made up his mind about. All right, and then he said, so I made up my mind. Soon I'll be loving you. That's all. I made up my mind. And I feel like he says, I made it up yesterday. Don't you hear him say, I made up my mind. I made it up yesterday. Soon I'll be loving you. Yeah. Because he's made up his mind. He says that twice. And yeah, he just has the nerve with all that he's doing in the background, babies. And that's fine. You don't have to understand and hear and pick up on everything that you hear in the background. Because like I said, the song is sexy, and the way this man had the nerve to sing them lead vocals. Okay, and it is in the lead. It isn't, I guess that isn't background. Is it lead? I feel like he put that in. Maybe that is a background, but he inserted that woo. And it's just like, all right, well, I'll just be available, you know what I mean? So, woo, yeah. We got to work. We had to do this work. I don't have time to mess with you guys. I don't have time to play around. If we need to just get some ultimate Marvin Gaye curriculum study done, this was it. Listen to, okay, so of course, I need you to hear this song about 5 times in a row. I'm not gonna, you can get caught up much longer than that. But I would say that many times. So look, I've been listening to it on my phone, and I feel like on your mobile device, when you're in YouTube, there is a loop. And that's what I've had it on. You go to your settings and loop the video. You just turn that on. And so now it's a repeat, right? But yeah, and trust me, if you do that, you may have a hard time keeping track of only 5 times, okay? But you need to loop that to fully study, okay? And I'm not telling you what part to get caught up on. He's got the nerve. I mean, it's hard because he has the nerve. Sexiest thing that there is. There is nothing sexier than Marvin Gaye trying to sing sexy to you, okay? Gonna put it on you, gonna make up his mind that he's going to deliver you a song sung sexily as this, because it's just like, Marvin, how on earth do you expect me to be able to understand other things? Okay. It's not even the fact of what the lyrics are, it's the way he is deciding to sing these lyrics. Bless those little boys' hearts that thought they did a demo of this song and handed it on the platter to Mr. Gaye. Yeah. Okay, because this is not those babies were not able to even imagine what Marvin had the nerve to do. Okay, so it's just this team too much. I'll see you guys soon. Like and subscribe. And yeah, I think we can let any random song play after this. Okay, we can let any song come up randomly after this one, because we just had to get to this ultimate curriculum work, and now we're good. All right, I didn't have time to play with y'all, but we can go anywhere in the world now on Marvin after this is under our belt. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye bye.